how can we convert more of our Facebook group members, right? You've built a Facebook group. How do we convert them? In today's PE episode TV, I'm going to share with you my top 3 ways for doing that. But first things first, tap that bell and subscribe so you never miss an episode or the opportunity to learn simple sales strategies to take your leads from cold to close and finally master sales online. My name is Keaney, and I'm a sales ninja and marketing mentor for high-achieving female coaches, VAs, that want to ditch hustle and they want to have 6-figure scale in online businesses by mastering their sales skills. Okay, let's talk about this. I am asked this all the time in the industry. And in my community, and even with my clients, I built this Facebook group. I'm bringing people into this community. I'm working really hard on building my group. Now, how do I convert them? Like, how do I take these humans that have come into my Facebook group and how do I convert them into paying clients? So there's 3 top ways. They're not the only ways, but there's 3 top ways I recommend you tap into to convert your Facebook group. Okay. So number 1, guys, is the entry questions. When Facebook came out with this little feature, it was like one of the best things that they ever did for Facebook group owners and business owners, right? Who are using and leveraging Facebook groups to grow their business. Those entry questions, guys, is data. It's beautiful data that you need to know and that helps you pull people into conversations, right? Those entry questions are like your gatekeeper to your community. It helps you decide who you want to let in, who you don't, so that you know you're building a community of the right people. It sets that bar and that standard of like, this group is not for anyone, right? It's only for this certain group of people, the right type of people. So you get to pick and choose. That is like your bearer of entry, right? It is now your opportunity to pick and choose who you let in that space so that you can really make sure that people coming in are supporting the vision that you have for that group in terms of the culture and the energy, right? And those entry questions that they put in there, if you ask the right questions, you can learn quite a bit about the type of people coming in, what they're looking for, what they're interested in, why they're there. And that information, that data helps you create content. It helps you create catchy, sellable titles and headlines and subject lines. It helps you to go live and create the things that people in your community are going to want to hear and learn from you, right? Now, it also helps you pull people into a conversation. And that is the second thing. That's the second thing that we need you to be doing with your Facebook group. Many people I talk to, they're building a Facebook group, but they're not doing anything with it. They're just maybe going live. They're maybe pushing out some content, but they're not doing anything. What I want you guys to do is make sure that the conversations that you're having are pulling people into a meaningful, genuine conversation, and that you are genuinely getting to know your people, that you're making sure you're creating content for them that is going to be valuable and helpful, but it's not overbearing. It's not so much that they feel like, oh my God, you're giving me so much, I can't get through it. You just want a few core pieces of content every week that is super valuable, power-packed with nuggets for them, and really educating them on who you are, what you do, and why they should maybe think about working with you. So you want to focus on really getting into conversations with every single member that joins your Facebook group. Look at it this way. When I think about having a house party or inviting my neighbors to my home, I'm not going to send out an invitation, invite people to my home, and then I'm going to disappear and people are just going to come into my home and sit here. Right? When you invite people into your house, you don't leave them standing at the foyer. You invite them in, you conversate, you ask them if they would like something to eat or would they like a drink. You give them the grand tour of your home. You have conversation, you connect, you talk about your kids, you talk about your family, you talk about your hobbies, you talk about your work, you talk about all the things and you get to know each other. You bond and you create a relationship. There's no agenda. There's no hidden agenda. And I think a lot of times people think about, oh my gosh, there's like, if I pull them into conversation, like I'm trying to sell to them or I'm trying to pitch to them, right? And I think all too often we go into our conversations with that idea. And so then we just don't want to do the thing. Part of having the conversations, guys, there's no hidden agenda. We're just talking, we're getting to know each other. We'll see where it goes. There's no personal agenda there. So if you release that, you're going to feel a lot better getting into conversation with every member, genuinely getting to know them, build that rapport, build that relationship. People buy from people. If they don't know, like, and trust you, they are not buying from you. So we got to build that first, right? Okay, so that is important. The third thing is the content that you put out. The content that you put out, guys, this is your attractor. This is the thing that pulls people into those conversations. This is the thing that is the first point of entry for most of your leads, right? The first point of entry for most of your leads is going to be some piece of content that you put out. It's going to be some kind of piece of content that you distributed, that they saw, that brought them to you, right? That piece of content is a game changer. It could be a deal breaker for you. It either gets their attention and their interest, stops their scroll and has them wanting to binge on your stuff and come connect with you, or it doesn't, right? So the content that you're putting out is going to be your attractor. This is going to be the thing that's going to educate people on what you do. It's going to get them inspired and have them motivated and wanting to know more. It's going to elevate their energy and get them excited, right? Where they're like curious and they want to start binging and checking you out, right? Your content is going to be the thing that gets people into conversations with you, that has them hearting, liking, commenting, booking, opening, clicking. It's going to have them doing those call to actions that you want them to do in each piece of your content. If the content sucks, they're not going to take the call to action, right? So if you're not creating content that is attracting your people and getting them to a place of wanting to take the call to action, then you're not going to have any conversions, right? You're not going to see your Facebook group members become paid clients. You're not going to see these conversions happening. You're not going to see people engaging and taking those call to actions because your content isn't good. Your content is your attractor. It's your billboard. It is the sign over the door for you, right? It is what tells everybody, here's what I do, here's how I help, here's why you should care, right? So your messaging, your content, guys, that you're creating and putting out, if you are not being strategic with that, if you're not being intentional with that, and focus on less, it's not about creating more content, it's about focusing on less, but very intentional pieces. Just 3 to 5 pieces per week that are very, very intentional and strategic can do all of this for you. But if you're just blasting out random pieces of content and it looks different every day, every week, and you're talking about a million different things, that remember, this is your attractor. Is every piece of content that you put out, is it educating your people on what you do, inspiring them to want to know more? Is it activating them to want to get in the DMs with you or to click and take a call to action to come discuss and explore working with you? If your content isn't doing that, then it's not a good attractor. So you got to look at what you're putting out for content, because that's what's going to take your people from consumers to paying clients inside of your Facebook group, right? Okay, so I hope that was helpful, guys. Remember, entry questions, conversations, content. Those are the 3 top things to get your Facebook group converted. I will see you guys on another PE TV.